The Honorable Krish, now presiding.
You may be seated. The case involves a middle school student who is accused of making unwanted advances towards a female student. Will the state's attorney please present their opening statement?
Introduction. Yes. Yeah, I'll stand here.
Okay, Okay, it's quite simple actually. We have a victim of harassment, Alexis Novinsky, and we have a guilty person, hopefully that will be guilty after the end of this court date, because what he did to my client was extremely unacceptable in physical and emotional ways. And today, amongst all of us, we will all realize and get to know both of these students, and hopefully we'll get to the bottom of this and know who is right and who is wrong.
Will the defense team please provide their opening statement?
I'd like to say that after the incident that happened in the cafeteria, we don't really know who was the real victim. I believe he was the victim, but I just want to say that I just want to say that overall, BT didn't harass Alexis.
Will the state's attorney please provide their first witness?
We call up today Maya Newmark.
Maya, head up over to the chair. Bring your stuff over.
Please sit down.
You'll be able to ask questions. No, you don't get to sit until you are sworn. You don't get to sit until you are sworn in. Go ahead.
Okay. Please raise your right hand and respond to my question. Do you swear to tell the truth and the whole truth?
Yes.
Nice.
What is your relationship to the victim, Alexis Novinsky?
Alexis is my best friend, and we have been friends since 3rd grade.
Can you tell me what exactly happened during your hang-up with Alexis the day you two made cookies?
We were texting our crushes, and then Alexis got a text from an unknown caller saying, well, it's on my phone, we have evidence for that, and we decided to put our phones down to go bake cookies because Alexis got uncomfortable to take our mind off of things, and we came back and Alexis had 10 messages from an unknown caller.
Can you read me some of the text that Brandon sent to Alexis?
Yes. It started off with him saying hey with a heart, and she didn't know who it was, so she said, who is this? And then he said it's Brandon, and then she didn't know how he got his number, so he said, how did you get my number? And then he said, I find my ways, but we don't know how he got the number. She said, I'm sorry, I don't want to talk to you now. And then he said a lot of uncomfortable things.
Could you read me a few of them?
He said, I love you, I miss you. He said, I can't live without you. And then he said, I want to do nasty things. And then he said, the thought of you with someone else angers me. Please answer me, I'll be good to you. And many other things.
And did Alexis reply with anything after that?
Alexis did not reply.
Did Brandon ever show any of the photos he claimed Alexis sent to him to any of his friends? Or anybody's friends?
No, everybody believed him, and I'm really popular, so I talk with a lot of guys and girls that are friends with Brandon.
Okay. What was the rumors that, was that the only rumor that Alexis sent Brandon inappropriate photos, or was there anything else? And did you hear them before or after Alexis found out?
Can you repeat the question?
So what was the rumors? What was the complete rumor?
The only one rumor was that Alexis was sending inappropriate pictures, which is not true. true because we have the text for proof. And Brandon spread a rumor to that, and that is not true.
And did Alexis hear them first, or did you hear them first and then tell Alexis?
Well, I heard these rumors first, and I kind of just like, because I'm kind of friends with a lot of Brandon's friends, and I kind of told Alexis, and she got really upset.
Did Alexis complain to you about the harassing, and did you report it right away?
Yes. Because at first I assumed it would go away after we told Brandon to back off because he was making her feel uncomfortable. Only after the rumors did I finally go to an adult what exactly. Oh wait, and then after the rumors I I went to a social worker and I was talking with the social worker, but Alexis did not want me telling anyone because she just didn't feel comfortable with anyone knowing, and she didn't want people to think that it was true that she did send anything, like any of these rumors were true. But I told the social worker anyway because I think something needed to be done. And after I told Alexis, she was not happy about it, but she finally accepted it and said, like, maybe it's good that someone knows about it.
And do you think Alexis is vulnerable in situations like these?
I mean, who wouldn't be? I mean, yes, extremely, and I think part of the reason she never truly spoke up to someone, and she had to deal with her own emotions first. And ever since we became friends, I was always like stepping up, speaking up for her, but she always helped me with advice on everything, and that's how it's always been.
I think it's really amazing that you put your friend and went to a social worker. Did Alexis ever accept it, that you went to a social worker?
She did accept it, but she wasn't really happy about the social worker because she said something more needs to be done, so she said, I want to take it to court because it's a very important situation.
Does the defendant have any questions for the state?
Okay, do you have questions regarding for this witness here?
Yes.
And then you can go ahead and give your statement.
First of all, if you are actually your best friend, which I'm sure you are, and if you actually knew what happened, why would you be looking off of the paper? And also, you didn't seem to know your stuff very well. If this actually happened, you should know. So, do you actually know what happened?
Yeah.
If you didn't have that paper.
Yeah.
Okay. Then
I
why
do.
are you having difficulty answering the questions?
Because sometimes I have to think of back in the situation and give you the right information.
Okay, I do actually have a question. So, in the information that we had received, it said that Brandon and Alexis were in a previous relationship, and it said that it was an unknown caller. So wouldn't Alexis, if Brandon and Alexis were previously dating, wouldn't she have his number in her phone?
Where did you get that they were in a previous relationship?
There was information in the packet we received before we took on this case.
I mean, Alexis probably deleted his number right after. She probably didn't want to deal with him after they broke up. Why would they want to stay together?
Also, first of all, normally if you have a boyfriend, you don't delete his number. But also, if it was unknown, how do you know it wasn't someone that was pretending to be Brandon?
I don't think that someone would pretend to be Brandon. I mean, someone could have done that. I mean, yes, that is possible. It's a possible chance. But, I mean, yeah, it's possible. But, yeah, really. But, I mean, pretty much what Brandon has said to Alexis in the past in person and stuff, it pretty much seemed like Brandon.
What has he said in person to her?
He said a lot of the things he said over text to her, like at lunch and stuff. He was kind of like touching her and stuff. He was saying stuff that
Can I just interject for 1 second? On the text, if you take your phone again, it says, who is this? And the unknown caller claims that he's Brandon. It says it's Brandon Winkface.
Okay, but I could say I'm John D. How would you know that it's actually Brandon? Just because someone says they're who they are doesn't mean they are.
I mean, half of the things he said on these texts is stuff that he said to her in person.
Alright, I'm sure Brandon has a lot of friends, even if he just had one. Let's say he got in a fight with his friend, and his friend knew what Brandon would say. You know your friends pretty well. Anyone, just because he says something doesn't mean that he would say it over text.
I mean, is that true that he got in a fight with his friend? Because if he hasn't gotten in a fight with his friend, there's no reason for his friends to be
Or maybe it's not his friend.
messing with him.
Maybe someone, everyone has enemies. What if someone pretended to be Brandon? Or maybe it was just for fun. You don't know that it was Brandon.
I mean, I don't know how people would know half of the things Brandon said, and Alexis has told me that these are half of the things that Brandon has said to me. I know that these, like Brandon has said to me these in person before. Like, I mean, how would people know that he says half of these things to her in person? And he claims it's Brandon. I don't think someone would do something like that unless they were really messed up.
People do
Because
that all the time.
it's bad.
Prank calls, what do you think those are?
Yeah, exactly.
I just think, I don't know how people would know half of the things Brandon says to her in person.
Anyone could say this stuff. If I said like you're ugly and Maya said that you're ugly, like that's not the same.
I don't know, I just think it's really weird how people would know half the things Brandon says in person to Alexis than it is to say it over text. I just don't know.
Alright, we're done.
Thank you.
The state's attorney will call the second witness.
Right, okay. Oh yeah, Richard's the guy.
Please raise your right hand and respond to my question. Do you swear to tell the truth and the whole truth?
No, he's just gonna lie.
Hey. What was the answer?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay.
Okay, my first question is, does Brandon touch her often?
Backtrack because I need to know who this person is.
Oh yeah, this is Richard, someone.
Don't look at me. That's your.
Oh, okay, so this is Richard, someone that like sits away on the other side of the table from her at lunch, and he supposedly sees this. He does see this every day or so, he says, and yeah. So let's see how he settles this. Okay, does Brandon touch her often?
Yes, he touches her about twice a week at lunch. I sit across from her and I see him doing it, and it makes me really uncomfortable.
Oh, does this make you or anybody else uncomfortable other than her, of course?
Yes, it does, because we don't know what to do and we feel like he's invading her privacy.
And who's the bad guy again?
Oh my god.
Like, what does he do to her? What does he do to her specifically? Like, physically?
He touches her back and touches her shoulders, and sometimes I see him pulling at her shirt, which makes me really uncomfortable.
Okay, and do you know of anything else happening verbally?
Yes, I've heard a lot of rumors about them, about her. I've heard the rumors about the nudes that she apparently sends her, and I know that they're not true.
Okay, like, what rumors do you hear?
I'm also really popular, and I know a lot of people who know Brandon really well, and they joke around about her and say like apparently she sent a lot of really cute pictures.
And are you close friends to her at all?
I am an okay friend, and I sit next to her a lot and talk to her, but I don't know her that well on a personal level.
Okay. Those are all my questions I
Does
have.
the defendant have any questions for the second state's attorney, second witness?
Okay, so my first question would be, so you said that it makes you uncomfortable, yes?
Yeah.
And other people?
Yeah.
So have you ever brought that up to Brandon? Have you ever told him, hey, this is uncomfortable, can you please stop?
No, I don't know Brandon that well. I know his friends really well, but I don't talk to him that much.
Okay, but if it makes you uncomfortable, wouldn't you feel the need to, like, tell him to stop or to sit at a different table?
I also don't feel comfortable bringing this topic up with him because I feel like that would create enough tension between me and Brandon and all of his friends.
But if you're not friends with Brandon, then would it really matter if you created more tension with him?
But like people wouldn't expect me to do this because I'm not that good of a friend with him. Like people wouldn't expect somebody who doesn't even know him very well to just confront him without even.
I have a different question. It's about the nudes. If Alexis didn't send them, let's say you guys think that Brandon sent them, how did he get the nudes of Alexis?
I don't think they were ever sent at all because I've heard his friends joking about it, but I've never seen any visual proof that.
Well, they said that they had text proof.
They said that they had text proof that she didn't send nudes.
We said that it was a rumor that Brandon started, that he had got nudes from Alexis, but we also continued on, maybe I failed to mention, that Brandon never showed anybody anybody exactly needs those. Everybody just believes.
Thanks for clarifying that, but I'd also like to say, they're rumors. Anyone could spread rumors, so how do you know it was Brandon that started the rumor?
I know that Brandon started the rumor because from his friends, they always, whenever I talk to them about this, they're always like, Brandon made another joke, Brandon told us something else.
So how do you know it was that rumor that he started?
Because I know his friends got the information from him.
So you're friends with Brandon's friends, but not Brandon.
I'm not very good friends with Brandon, and I'm pretty good friends with his friends. I just know everybody pretty well.
Okay, so you kind of hear, you hear rumors of people talking about rumors. Like you just kind of walk past them and they're saying, oh, Brandon.
No, because I like to talk to a lot of people. I don't talk to them personally, but I just talk to them as a conversation, as like as an okay friend. And I talk to them, like a group of them, and sometimes they just make jokes.
Okay, one more witness. Fortunately, she wasn't able to be present with us today, but she did send a note that she wanted to be read. This is from the social worker. Her name is Julia Kaplikowski. She's been working at the school that these two students go to for over 16 years now. So, I kindly apologize for not being able to accompany you on this important trial for my patient Alexis Novinsky, but that doesn't mean my word can't be heard amongst the jury on this day. I, Julia Kaplikowski, am a social worker here at the school for over 16 years now. I recently have been informed by an 8th grade student in the name of Maya Newmark that Brandon Chorowski has been making Alexis feel uncomfortable physically and emotionally. Now this matter is important to announce because this kind of behavior is also known as sexual harassment. Sexting, physically touching Alexis, and spreading inappropriate and false rumors about her is only some of the many reasons I have to prove that this behavior is harassment. Alexis didn't want to come see me when this matter was uprising, and I can understand that. I have had numerous cases before where it took a friend like mine to speak up for the victim. Can you blame Alexis? It's hard enough to confront her own emotions to the situation, let alone talking to adults such as I isn't too common amongst sexually harassed victims. I regret the fact that I can't help Alexis because she refused my assistance, but in a way I am helping her right now because this matter is far more than just a social worker. This situation must be dealt with in court. This is unacceptable behavior that needs to stop. Alexis's life is being compromised each day when she has to face the humility of students that have spread rumors. On top of it all, Brandon Chorowski doesn't seem to be able to take a hint. When anyone, whether it's a 2-year-old or a 100-year-old, says they're uncomfortable with actions made verbally or physically by another person, that person needs to take that feedback into serious consideration. And I regret to inform you all that Brandon Chorowski didn't seem to be able to complete this task. I have said my part, now it is simply up to the jury to claim who is in fault of this incomprehensible situation. Sincerely, a concerned adult and social worker.
Okay, I need for you to give that to the defense team so they can analyze, look that over. They will be able to respond back to that after they call their witnesses. Okay, so you guys can take a minute to look that over. Chris, go ahead, Judge.
Will the defense attorney please provide their first witness?
Please raise your right hand and respond to my question. Do you swear to tell the truth and the whole truth?
Yes.
I'd like to ask you some questions.
Before she starts off, she would like to talk about what actually happened.
I'd like to talk about what actually happened. My client, Brandon Chorowski, is innocent. In the cafeteria, the day that this started, Alexis looked tense and BT was just trying to be friendly. And they were in a previous relationship. You remember that Alexis liked massages, so, they were still good friends. BT and Alexis, as I said, are still good friends, and he had been texting her the night before this happened. We recall, and BT showed us proof, that Alexis said that she would like to get back together with him. This was an on and off relationship, so this wasn't something that didn't happen before. But after the previous relationship, BT had broken up with her and gotten a new girlfriend, and Alexis was jealous. She found this out. So that day at lunch, BT remembered and showed us text that Alexis had been saying, oh, I slipped and fell during swimming. And So BT was like, oh, I'll give her a massage. I mean, it's not unnatural. It was actually a really friendly thing to do. So he gave her a massage, and she never said that she didn't like it. She never pulled away, and she never told anyone that this was making her uncomfortable, or if it had made her uncomfortable, she should have said something to BT, because how was he going to know? BT assumed that it would be fine to give her a massage, as it was an action he had done many times. So to her, it was familiar. It wasn't something that was like uncomfortable or something she hadn't done, because when they were dating, as the other witnesses said, they had seen him do this before. If it really had bothered her, and they'd seen it done multiple times, then she really should have said something to BT. Alright, now I'm going to ask Ivan a few questions. So Ivan is a popular guy. He's friends with a lot of people. He knows what goes on. What did you see the day at the cafeteria?
So I was sitting very close to Alexis, and Brandon was behind her, and he came up to her and he's like, he had noticed that Alexis was feeling very good, and he had heard that before she had slipped at the pool and fell. So he wanted to just be friendly and give her a massage, and it was just a friendly massage on the shoulders, nothing invasive.
What did the massage look like?
It was pretty gentle, not aggressive at all.
What were Alexis's actions?
She seemed to kind of enjoy it. She wasn't like displeasured. She didn't try to pull away. She didn't tell him anything, just like to have him stop.
Now I'd like to take it to a different level. What do you know about Alexis's personality?
I've heard from her friends that she is somewhat known to spread rumors.
Why do you think that she had a reason to spread a rumor that he was sexually harassing her?
So the fact that they broke up, she was really sad about that. So she could have wanted revenge and have set up this whole thing.
The state's attorney has any questions for the defendant's witness?
I just want to ask a question. Just wanted to ask if you're feeling okay today. You seem to be a little shaky over there, but you're feeling okay. That's all right. So I just wanted to ask, do you think it's appropriate to give massages such as these at school, and has he done it before at school, or has he done it before in his own personal time with Alexis?
Yes, I've seen him do it at school before, at lunch. It's just like a usual occurrence. Except it's just like not invasive at all, so I don't see any problem with it.
Can you give us, is there any proof of this text, or what do you know about this text? Can you give more information that Alexis sent, that she hurt herself during swimming and needed a massage during school lunch?
Well, as your witnesses have been saying, he was touching her, but that was just a simple massage. So
Can you explain, so I just want to ask your defense team, can you explain what your idea of the text he sent that we presented before are? What is your final?
Like you said before, you said it was an unknown caller, and then it claimed it was Brandon. So anything that was said, like you can't prove it that it was Brandon.
Is Brendan still dating that girl that he was with after Alexis?
Yes, after Alexis thing.
And how do you think that girl took it when he decided to give her a friendly massage after her?
She knew about the text. She knew that Alexis wanted to get back together with Brandon. She was fully comfortable with it. She knew that Brandon was just being friendly.
And can you give me the reason why Brandon Charles didn't look like with Alexis?
It's an on and off relationship. It happened all the time. He found someone else.
I also have like a few. That's so funny. I have questions. So, like, Has Brandon and Alexis have they been friends before this?
Yeah.
Have they been close
Who
before
are
this?
you directing the question to?
Everyone here. Like, if they know that they've been friends.
Okay, thank you.
They were friends and they were also dating.
Oh. That's sort of cool. Like they were both dating. Now they're in court.
Any other questions? Okay.
You may call your second witness to the stand.
I'd like to call Rhonda up and.
Please raise your right hand and respond to my question. Do you swear to tell the truth and the whole truth?
Yes.
Rhonda, I'd like to know what your relationship with Alexis is.
I've been Alexis's friend for I think about 5 years now.
Okay, and so you would hang out with Alexis on a regular weekly basis, you would say, right?
Yeah, I was.
So did you see or like feel any nervous or uncomfortable energy or Alexis almost being unusually sad?
Well, recently Alexis has seemed sort of like at a depression. Well, not much, but like she's been sort of depressed and like sad, and she's been uneasy all the time. And so at times she's like muttered, Brandon this, but like she never exactly told anyone or confronted anyone.
Okay, so she never told anyone that she, like besides you really, that she still did like Brandon?
No.
Okay, can you explain to me what happened at the lunch room that day?
Well, the day before, Alexis, she sent a message that she slipped at swimming, and Brandon knew that because he got the message. So the next day, Alexis still came to school because even though her back hurt, and then she was like moaning about her back during lunch, and then Brandon, just being nice, came up and massaged her back to make her feel better. And Alexis, she didn't show any discomfort. She actually seemed that she liked it, and she was smiling. And she didn't say anything against it, so everyone assumed that she liked it, and so no one said anything. And we were like all comfortable with it.
Okay, because it happens regularly?
Yeah.
Okay, so do you know what happened after Alexis found out that Brandon was dating another girl?
Well, Alexis got quite mad. I remember I was at her house when she got the text, and she threw a bit of a fit. She was like muttering things and swearing, but then she calmed down, but it still seemed that she was kind of angry about it.
Okay, and lastly, what do you know from knowing Alexis for such a long time? What have you learned from her personality?
Well, Alexis really likes to gossip, and she's been known to spread rumors. Like, I remember a couple of months ago, something happened, and then she was the one that was spreading rumors, and like, she's been known for that.
Thank you.
Does the state's attorney have any questions for the defendant, second witness?
Yeah, just a few questions. I was informed by Alexis and by other witnesses that the massage wasn't of the back, it was of the shoulders because she hurt herself during swimming, but she hurt her shoulders. I also wanted to ask, what's your relationship to Alexis again?
I'm her best friend.
So you sit by her, right?
Yeah.
So, how did you see that text that Brandon got? Did he send it to everybody? Because it seems like many people that don't sit by Brandon have gotten this text. Has Brandon been spreading this text with many people?
Which text, like where?
The one where Alexis was hurt, and apparently her back was.
Well, Brandon wasn't the only one she sent it to. She also sent it to me. So like I also knew, and I met her like right after.
So what happened that few months ago scenario that you're talking about? What happened there that Alexis claimed to gossip about?
One of Alexis's friends sort of turned her back on her, and she left her. And then Alexis kind of got angry at this, and then she started spreading rumors about how her friend did this and that, and then everyone knew, and then like everyone sort of didn't like the girl Alexis spread rumors about, so she's been known for that.
And tell me, has Alexis ever talked to Brandon's, to Mr. Rofsky's girlfriend before? Have you ever seen them have any sort of communication that was friendly?
No, they never talked at all. Actually, it seems that Alexis doesn't like her because she always like turns her head when she comes by, and she seems like angry.
State's attorney may begin their closing arguments.
You know, 1 second. Did you have any questions regarding the social worker component?
I do, actually.
Okay, let's go hit up that point quick, and then we can do on the closing and move
So
on.
I see that this is a computer paper, and did you get a note, like a handwritten note before and you just typed it up?
No, she sent it to me by email,
Okay, so there was,
and I decided to print it because that was more convenient.
so there was no signature, like saying that it was this social worker?
Well, this was the social worker that my Newmark claimed to talk to, and the social worker,
Claimed stuff too. How do we know that you didn't just print this out? There's no signature, there's no printed name.
there's only one social worker at this school, which Maya went to talk to, and Alexis was there at the situation, and she got upset at Maya. So everybody knows the social worker, and the social worker sent us an email regarding this. She was very, very.
Just because there's one social worker or 5, it doesn't matter how do we know she sent it, but also, a social worker, I know in previous past, when I was in elementary school, whatever, I would go to the social worker, she would say, all right, bring the other person. She can't just write a note saying it's sexual harassment without knowing the other side of the story. How does she know that Maya saw something she didn't, or Alexis is lying? And how do we even know it's really her?
Who, the social worker?
Yeah. How do we know she really said this?
Social worker. Who else would do it?
But what if you wrote it? There's nothing saying that it's, like, there's nothing proving that she actually wrote it.
I'm gonna stop that right on that question there and let the jury figure that one, think about that component there. Since our time is running short here, you guys, state's attorney, you guys, Krish, what's the next job for you, for them to do?
State's attorney may begin their closing argument.
Wrong way.
So overall, I think it's BT's problem because he was the harasser. And obviously, she said more than once that she didn't like it. And after once, he should probably stop. BT, you like to answer?
Yeah, I'd just like to say that my client is innocent, that if she ever wanted revenge, there are many other ways of making revenge other than spreading a rumor like this. And this thing is, this is something very serious. If this wasn't true, would this end up in court? And who is claiming that she was sexually harassed? On top of which, I completely think and know that Alexis claimed she was uncomfortable very many times. She said it to Brandon on text, or supposedly how the other side thinks wasn't Brandon. But we have a witness here, Maya Newmark, her best friend, and Rhonda Patel claims to be also her best friend. I just want to say that this is something way too serious for it to be a false rumor spread by someone who claims she was harassed. And it seems that there are very many points of view on what massage or how the massage went. But I just wanted to say that I feel as though this is serious, and I feel as though Alexis is innocent of being sexually harassed by Brandon Jarowski multiple times through different ways.
The defense team may begin their closing argument.
Okay, we would just like to say that through the evidence that our witnesses have provided for us, we have proof that Brandon is innocent, and Alexis never disproved of any of the actions that BT was making. So who is lying? With these facts, we know that the real victim was BT.
I'd like to say the dates that all this happened on, so you guys know what happened. So going over how everything occurred, this is what happened. On November 15th, Alexis texted Brandon saying she wanted to get back together with him. On November 22nd, Alexis slipped and fell. And she texted BT, November 23rd, BT gave Alexis a wanted massage. She never said she didn't like it, and even the witnesses from there say no one ever said anything. No one ever said, because they were too uncomfortable. And then November 23rd, the same day that he gave the massage, she found out that BT had a new girlfriend. She was jealous. And then November 24th, Alexis decided to start a rumor.
Okay.
As a jury, your job is to analyze the evidence provided to you during this case and to make a sound decision. The only rule will be based upon the evidence and nothing else. You will have 5 minutes to discuss with yourself before giving me your decision. Does the jury have any questions?
Can we ask questions?
One, yes.
What question will the jury?
Well, follow-up questions, yeah, sure, you can ask a question, go ahead.
Wait, only, okay, so.
Just clarify, go ahead, ask.
So they're like middle schoolers, right?
Yes, this is middle school.
Okay, so, no, it's not my question. So, the idea of middle schools giving each other massages with, like, parent supervision in the, like, is.
Do you have a question to ask?
Ask the question.
Any questions?
Who broke up with who?
Alexis never claimed that she was dating during our interviewing session. She never claimed that she was dating, but if she was dating, among the texts that we saw, Alexis was never broke up with BT. BT wanted to get a different girlfriend, and that resulted in a breakup.
Can you repeat the part, like the day of like the sexual harassment? The dates. No, just like that one day where he was on. November 23rd. No, like the whole part you said, like what you said. Oh. Okay. Well, pretty much they got text the next day. She seemed really tense, so he went up to her, gave her a massage, and she, like Rana and the witnesses said, she didn't seem uncomfortable. She almost seemed to like it. Anything else?
You will, Chris, you just look at it, Lily will read it.
We've decided it is a hung jury.
What is a what?
It's a tie.
Oh my God.